back to the Pitch Pod, everybody. It's at that moment we've all been waiting for, the World Cup final, Argentina v. France. And Joe and I are so excited to watch this upcoming match. It should be a great one. But before we get into that and our predictions, I'm going to go ahead and swing it to Joe and let him kind of review the previous match and make his predictions for this upcoming one first. But it's going to be a great match either way, and we're so excited to talk about it and to get together and watch this. So, Joe, I'll let you start it off.
Yes, Jeff, much appreciated. Thanks for having me on. As always, glad to be a part of the Pitch Pod. And wow, here we are. Time flies so fast when we're having so much fun here with this exciting World Cup tournament. And we're getting ready to turn the corner to the final. And it's been excited to be a part of the Pitch Pod during this time. Excited to be a fan of football. Excited to have the opportunity to look forward to completing the tournament and making our final prediction on where we are with the winning side. But first thing, again, yes, I think it is important to go back and look at how both the semifinals played out as a means to suggest where this final might go. I mean, if you look at, we looked at the Croatia team, I thought would put up more of a fight. I think those are exactly the words that we looked at there. I mean, a defense that could limit, but it wasn't much for Argentina to score three. I mean, we said it. Would it, or question rather, would Messi magic show up? And sure enough, it did. I thought, looking for sure in this tournament, his best performance, being able to get himself earn a penalty, converting that, getting his one goal, assisting in a second, and definitely just having the presence about him. Whereas Croatia didn't have much of an answer for not only him, but the rest of the Argentinian side. And I think that 3-0 result is indicative of what we viewed in there. So they got through. We're going to see Argentina in the final versus France, who on the other contest, a little bit more difficult, if you will, for what they had to do. Not to say that France really, getting maybe a little bit forward into the prediction as far as how this would go. You saw France labor a little bit more to get their 2 goals, but on paper, Jeff, I do really think that France is the better of the 2 teams going to this. I mean, you can't deny not to take credit away from the whole squad, the whole team that they're working with, but you can't deny that you have to look at the Olivier Giroud at top. You have Griezmann playing underneath them in the 10, and you have Dembele on the right, and he's got to mention it, Mbappe on the left. And those 4 alone present a strong attack for a French side that, again, added to those players, what you have else to work with there, I think really is the favorite of the 2 sides in terms of on paper. But as we know, as we've talked about, this isn't a game played on paper. This is a game that takes place on the pitch. This is a game as a final for the World Cup that has so much riding on it. I think that it's going to come down to which of the 2 teams performed well on the night, and it really could go either way. But, Jeff, we're not here to let our viewers and our listeners just decide by flip of a coin. It could go either way. I think we have to get down to how it might be a side that's going to go forward through maybe a bit of magic. And if we're talking about that Messi, I think that's where it's going to come down to. Can you imagine the pressure for everybody involved in the sense of what is in the eyes, the world's focus, wanting to see Messi and Argentina be victorious? I think that's where, if you were to poll the world right now, you have the opportunity to do so, you would see that there would be a lot more looking to see Argentina go through and Messi, we may have mentioned it before, with the result, with the win in the World Cup, being crowned the greatest of all time. And maybe an achievement that had eluded him, but here he has an opportunity to do so in this final. So I think that's what's going to be exciting for everybody going forward in this match. Now, historically, finals of this sort, low-scoring contest, low-scoring affair in the sense that teams are hesitant to come out early, open up, and just play, more so very much tactical, looking to see what maybe even more so concerned of what the other side will do than what they would do. Now, I don't know if that's where France will position themselves and how they will go about it, or the other side, Argentina, will go about position themselves to play more to see what the others will do. I think that both would be favored to have a strong percentage of possession. I think that both would like to obviously have the ball more. Of the two, I think that it favors France to have the ball more. I think that they're not going to put them on. They're not going to put themselves in a position where they're going to have to do as much to counter. I think you saw that even at times against Morocco, where you're like, what? They're dropping back that far? Really okay with looking to provide opportunities to spring the counterattack? I think they have it there. I mean, you got it means in a way with Mbappe, who could probably get past and play past about just about anybody in the world with his incredible speed and athleticism and talent and technical ability. I mean, we saw in the other contest, not trying to go back too far, their second goal was pretty much an Mbappe manufactured goal there, and then being able to put together a ball across the six to get a play that was just recently subbed on to finish. But again, I don't know that that's where France wants to position themselves. I think they'd want to dominate in possession, dominate in creating chances, and score more goals. I mean, that's an understatement, right? But going back to my initial statement or comment about there being a lot less goals in these finals, is this one where there's more? Is this one where it's a back and forth affair? Is this one where they both go for it from the get go? I don't know. So I know you do want me to go on record and make a prediction as far as which of the two sides will be victorious in this one. And it's tough, though. It really is in this contest not to think that somehow, some way, Argentina with Messi win. And if I do stick with the theme of where I have been with historically lower goals, could just be one. Could just be one Messi goal for Argentina to win 1-0, enough to win the final and to be victorious in this World Cup. So there you have it, Jeff. That is where I stand with my prediction. I have Argentina winning 1-0 in the World Cup 2022.
Thanks for that, Joe. Joe broke down a couple things that I'll also probably hit on, but I think him going for Argentina winning this 1-0, I think that's totally reasonable, and I kind of have to go with France at this point because I have them in my bracket going all the way. But after seeing how Argentina, Messi, Alvarez came out and just annihilated the competition last match, it does give me some doubts that I didn't have prior. Apparently, Messi has a lot of magic left. He played great, and I anticipate he'll be up for this final as well. So I've been back and forth on this one, even though initially I was pretty settled on France. And it's an interesting competition because Joe kind of went into the details of it, but on the surface level, we can all understand that we have one of the greatest of all time, Messi, who needs this on his resume. He wants this. And he's kind of at the tail end of his career. He still has several good years left, don't get me wrong. But he's getting to this older age where you have to question how many more years does he have left. And of course, I need to mention Alvarez, the other attacker up top for Argentina, playing great off each other. If Messi's not scoring, he's setting up Alvarez. So I've been super impressed watching them. And then on the other side, we have France, and we have Giroud, who didn't have a great World Cup last time, but this go round, he is ready. He has been putting the ball in the back of the net. And the young up-and-coming star who has nothing but big potential in front of him, Mbappe of France, who is my vote for Golden Boot at the beginning of this and is still in the competition against Messi. So we have one of the greatest players, the older Messi, going against one of the great up-and-coming players, the younger guy, not as experienced, but super talented, super athletic and fast, Mbappe. So it's kind of a great classic clash between the veteran and the young guy. And I am super excited. And I feel like both teams will be up for it. Both teams will be ready and have played at this high level before. So I think everyone's just going to be at their best. And I have to stay true to my bracket and go with what my initial instinct was, even though I've been super impressed with Argentina. I'm going to go with France winning this 2-1. And if there was a game to go into PKs, I could see it happening in this case. But I'm going to say 2-1 France. They win, no PKs, and it's going to be a great match. That's my prediction. Joe had another great prediction as well. All I know is I believe it's going to be a close game with two of the top teams in the world, with the biggest stars in the world going at it, well coached, high quality teams. And so it's going to be a fun match no matter who comes out the victor. And after the World Cup, Joe and I will still be bringing content. We'll focus back on the EPL, the Premier League, and continue to bring you great content. But it's been a fun World Cup, and we thank everyone for joining us. Absolutely. So please like, subscribe, join us, because even though the World Cup is finishing, we are just getting started here at the Pitch Pod. So enjoy the match, everybody. And as always, keep pitching out there.
In a game, the round ball, round posts, anything can happen.